Welcome to Diamonds and Pearls. Today our show is going to be about marriage and relationships.
Yes.
We would like to introduce you to our guests.
We have three wonderful guests.
Wonderful.
David,
How you doing? My name is David Blanks.
Chris, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
We have 8 questions in total, 2 questions on each card. So what we're gonna do and how we're gonna run this is we're gonna somebody's gonna pick a card, one of the guys, they're gonna answer it, we're gonna answer it. That's how we're gonna do it.
Let's do it.
David is first, of course. You can pick whatever card you wanna pick.
My lucky number is 4. Am I allowed to pick that?
Yeah.
Okay. So do I go with number 7 or 8?
You have to answer both of them in order.
Okay. Question number 7 is the first question. It says, why is divorce so easy? Why is divorce an easy option? I don't think it's an easy option. I think because it's expensive. I think you shouldn't get a divorce. I think you should just stick it out and tough it out. I don't think you should just quit. It's easy to say and get a divorce, but I don't think divorce is an easy option. It's a hard option because you gotta worry about the bags, house payments, mortgages, car notes. That's a headache. I can't do it.
Chris.
It's mine.
Everybody gonna answer.
Everybody has to answer
Why
the
is
question.
divorce an easy option?
I think divorce, first we have to understand what divorce is, right? Everybody know what divorce is. And separating, and what comes with a divorce. And it being an option is my problem. Why is it an easy option? Because marriage, people are, I'm trying to see how to say this without, marriage, I think was not taken serious, not being taken serious in the beginning. So divorce is seen easy, and then a lot of people that's married, they don't hang, or they don't have, like when I was growing up, I have mentors, and a lot of people don't. You gotta have those strong people in your life in a marriage, I think, to help you keep it going. If you don't have those people, and that's when the divorce and it becomes an option.
Positive influence.
Exactly. So that's my idea on that. That's why I think it's an option.
Jonathan.
I think the divorce is. I think they make divorce as an option now, at least because in the beginning, like when people wouldn't get married, it's hard sometimes. The best way to put it is this: sometimes marriage isn't meant for everybody. I know it's crazy to put yourself in that predicament in the first place and say, hey, I want to spend my rest of my life with you. I think that we can make an abundance of love for each other, but sometimes when it just comes down to the hard facts, when you just really think you know somebody, but when you don't, and then you get to a point, even if it's irreconcilable differences, like, okay, well, maybe it's just for the better. Even if we can't spend the rest of our lives with each other, at least we know in the end we can still be friends and we can still at least be there for one another. That's why.
Okay. Right. I think marriage is an easy option these days because we've created an easy way out for everything. I mean, even if you can't pay, if you decide to sign up for $1,000 worth of credit, they got bankruptcy that can get you out of that. You know, there's always so many easy options, and nowadays, people in general don't know how to fight for something that they want. We've given up the fight. We're not even tough anymore. We don't know how to tough anything out. We don't like to suffer. We think that, oh, let's get married, oh, let's get divorced. Hey, I like this car. Hey, I'm gonna buy this car. Oh, can't pay for it. Bankruptcy. So I just think that we don't know how to fight for it anymore. We don't even know what marriage means anymore. And what it actually involves. So I think that it's an easy option because we make it an easy option. We think that we know that that's our backup plan because America's so big on have a plan B now. So I think that's why it's an easy option.
think for a lot of people it's the easy option because family and the sanctity of family is not as important in life anymore. I think, especially in our country, just the family unit looks crazy now. And for most people that get married, they don't understand how difficult it can be at times. And when most people are under pressure, then say like on a job or whatever, you feel like you can get another job. Or if you in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you can get another boyfriend, another girlfriend. When you're married, you can't do that. And some people don't have the tools that they need to really fight for the sanctity of their marriage. And, you know, I was actually reading one day about how, you know, God hates divorce and different things like that. And, you know, he kind of let people, or he allowed Moses to allow people the opportunity to divorce for certain situations. However, I think that anyone who looks at divorce as an option has the give up spirit. You know, like it's not worth it. I mean, but when you have a family, then I think that should be, it just shouldn't be an option. You should really, really, really reconsider, because I heard divorce can be real nasty. Real nasty.
Take about 7 years to get a divorce.
Really?
One. I think that. I think that depends on how many years you're in. But I also think that sometimes divorce is such an option because people. I think that people don't feel like it anymore. I think people are really selfish nowadays, and they just rather give up than to deal with it. I think it has something to do with them wanting to be happy all the time. And it's so sad thing to say, but sometimes, some days, you're not gonna be happy. And so but you can make each other happy, depending on if everybody in the marriage is selfless. You know, if y'all care about each other, then divorce won't be an option. You won't have it to be even said. So.
Wow. Anybody else want to elaborate? No. All right, next question.
Okay, the next question is, how can they withstand the test of time?
Marriages.
How can marriages withstand the test of time?
What do you think, Chris?
I'm gonna take a different approach on this question. Some marriages shouldn't be, and I believe I'm a firm believer that we put a lot of us say we'll pray God give us this, God give us that, and we rush into things. I've dated one time for 7 years, and I didn't. And a lot of people, hey, you need to get married. But coming to the end of that relationship, I found out why I didn't marry this person. You know, and sometimes we want to make stuff work that God didn't put together in the first beginning. You know, and it won't. And no matter how hard we try, it will not stand the test of time because it wasn't supposed to be there in the beginning. So I think going to jump back up to the same, some divorce ain't always a bad thing. I know society has made it, but sometimes you gotta find out where you guys are, and if it can't move forward, you need to do away with it and release those people out of that situation. That's
Really?
Oh,
That's deep.
yeah.
A little bit.
That was deep.
People don't need to be married, okay?
Thank you. That's not marriage.
Okay.
So
You need to take a moment.
I'm trying to put them together. Okay. So what was the question again?
How do marriages stand the test of time?
How do marriages stand the test of time? The question is kind of, how do marriages stand the test of time? But how much time and effort are you willing to put into that marriage, though? Or at least building up to the marriage. Like now, society, love isn't even a factor anymore. A lot of times, people just get married nowadays just to get married, or just for the status of getting married. Like, hey, mom, guess what? I'm married. What you got on your finger? I mean,
Whoa.
She get a pull back, huh?
it's like marriage is a time is time and effort in and of itself. If you don't put the time into what you really want or really trying to get out of the marriage, at the end of the day, nothing that you really did is going to matter. That's how I feel.
Dave?
What I like about the question when it says the test of time, you know, like in the 1900s, you know, they didn't have all the technology we have right now, you know, meaning computers, cell phones, internet. You know, back in the day, all they had was each other and work, you know, and people living 30 miles away from each other. So I think when it comes to test of time, it comes to, like Jonathan and Chris was saying, your relationship with that person. You know, are y'all willing to go through the struggle? Are y'all willing to go through what he say, she said? Are you willing to go through, like now with Facebook, oh, I caught your friend doing this, your husband doing this? Do you believe that? But when it comes back to the 1900s, you know, 1970s, 1950s, 1960s, you know, it's kind of pretty hard to accuse somebody of something because you was always in the field working, or you didn't have time to worry about, was my husband doing this, because you got about 15 kids to take care of. So when it comes to the time of 1970 to 1950 to 2000, you know, I think it's a lot rougher now because you got the reality shows and the celebrities. I think even with the middle class, low class, and high class, they all have their own problems. So when it comes to time, the whole thing with time is, do you have the time to build the trust? Do you have the time to build, you know, basically just trust and time. That's all I can really say. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question out there.
Can I clean this up real quick?
Clean it up.
Because she made it right. She was like, "Oh wow, man, we're not supposed to be married." I didn't say we're not supposed to get married. I didn't, you know.
You gotta show though. We all gloves are off.
Right.
That's one.
All gloves are off.
Stick whatever your opinion is. That's good. It's not right or wrong. You're not wrong.
Right.
You know, that's completely.
No,
I'm not changing my opinion. I'm just making sure so clearing up a little bit. We should get married. Yeah, it's a process. You know, I really believe it's a process, and a lot of people, they want to get to step 5, but they jump 2, 3, 4,
Yes.
and all that empty space in between is gone, and they try to make something work. So it's the process of it, you know. If you're not ready for it, don't do it. Is my point.
Now that's a good point. I hope y'all listen to that.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Okay.
Okay, go to
I think marriages with the end of time. I mean, I could bite off of what everybody else said, but I kind of think that in most cases, I agree, Chris. Some marriages don't make it because irreconcilable differences. No, you can if you want to change something, you can change something. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. Everybody else is answering. My answer is I don't know.
Oh,
Miriam.
you.
Okay, I think it's kind of easy. How marriages can stand the test of time. Forgiveness, love, and you gotta be willing to let go. Because me personally, I look at marriage how God looks at me. I expect, and it's just crazy, but I expect God to forgive any and everything I do. Seriously. Not to say I do wrong or I'm going to sin, because I know He will. However, if I fall or if I come short or if I whatever, I go to Him knowing that He's going to forgive me. And because He does that, I know that there's a requirement He puts on me to forgive anything anybody ever does to me. So I believe that in marriage, you got your husband and wife, because that's what marriage is supposed to be. I'm just gonna say it. Anyway, you have your husband and you have your wife. Yeah. And I really honestly feel like no matter what you do to offend each other, to get on each other's nerves, to hurt someone, whether it's intentional or unintentional, you have to be able to forgive. You have to be able to let go. And you have to be able to love a person past what you feel are their faults. And if you can do that, and if they can accept that forgiveness and your unconditional love for them, then your marriage can last forever, in my opinion.
So you're saying forgive and forget?
Forgive and let go. You'll never be able to forget. Only God has the miraculous power of forgetting. But in order to let go, you have to allow that person the capacity to even do it again.
So you mean to tell me, if, not to get off the subject, if I was to eat one of your cookies, hold on, I eat one of your cookies, right? And you said
That's really
about me eating your cookie.
No.
it would take a lot of forgiveness.
You need to go get some more.
Right.
And then you will forget.
Yeah, you
I won't forget the
Hold on,
day.
I'm asking you, so then you will forget, right?
You'll forgive me.
I will forgive you and I will let it go.
But then
I
you
won't-
hide your cookies, right?
No, I wouldn't have the cookies. But honestly, you have to be able, you gotta be able to let go, because you know what? You can't expect, I think people come in marriages with these crazy expectations.
That's true.
You expect them to be this, whatever, and I'm sure you haven't had that drawn out conversation because you have the courtship of getting to know each other, y'all loving and all sorts of stuff. But if they do something to offend you or do something wrong, you have to be able to forgive, love them past it, let go, and your marriage can last.
Okay, so the question was, how can marriage withstand the test of time? And I don't think marriage itself can withstand the test of time. I think love can withstand the test of time, but not marriage.
Yes.
Because marriage
Beautiful.
itself people get married every day and don't love each other. But if you love someone and y'all are in love with each other, then you can withstand anything. You can withstand pain beyond your imagination because you're in love. You're not even in the emotion of marriage itself. Because marriage is nothing but people signing papers. So I just personally feel like marriage itself cannot withstand the test of time, just like the body can't withstand the test of time if it's not
Taken care of.
yeah, taken care of appropriately. So
And
you have
love.
to give and love, and you gotta add the right ingredients to make your marriage perfect. If you keep adding all bad stuff, then you're gonna get bad stuff. It's just like anything that you put in something, you're gonna get that out of. So I don't think marriage itself can withstand anything. I think that, because shoot, me and my best friend could be married and then we don't like each other the next day and be divorced. It's just,
Wow.
hey, we got married. Hey, we was married on paper.
Oh my gosh. You
So,
know that,
24 hours.
that brings me to that one scripture where it says like love endures all things.
Yes, and that's the truth. You know, if you love something, if you in love with something, all pain, all pain. There's no your
No
pain.
limit.
People be taking my frames, so there is no.
So I got a question.
Here we go.
Since
Love's all.
me and you been married for 11 years, right?
That's
11
So
years.
Make that clear. Them too.
So you mean to tell me that I didn't have to marry? We could have just been living with each other, not getting married. Hold on.
Okay.
So we could have just been with each other and we not being married, just love each other, not say, hey, we're married. You'd have been fine with that?
No, that wasn't my response, number one. But no, we could not have been shacking and not married because I have a promise to another love that I have to abide
Great
by.
answer.
Fire.
Great answer.
Fire.
I can't break two hearts.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Hey.
So,
1 point for y'all.
Yeah, we won. We always win. We do. So, all right, next card. Let's go.
oh, you can pick
You can pick whatever card you want to
I'm
pick.
taking this one off.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
What's that?
That one wasn't the bad card.
I told you to go pick number 1. I wasn't ready.
I will get this one.
I told you to go pick it.
First question on here is, What role should each sex take in a relationship or marriage?
Oh, what roles?
I'm last in there.
I'm gonna let you ahead.
This is an interesting question, especially being from my perspective. I'm 26 and being a man who has lived in a home, in a single parent home for my mother, and then in a married house with my father. There's no discrimination. There's a discrimination that a man should make the money and a woman should be at home. And in reality, in today's world, it doesn't really matter. In a relationship, each sex should have their own roles. Even if they have to switch. Sometimes if the man sleeps, the woman has to cook. Sometimes the woman needs to sleep. Sometimes the man has to cook. Sometimes it doesn't matter. It's a big speculation that the men need to make the most money, the men are the most masculine. Sometimes it's not that case, because sometimes there's no man, and then the woman has to be the masculine one. The women have to make the money, the women got to clean, women got to cook, women got to take care of the children, women got to go to school. And so it's too much going on. So in my eyes, they both should be equal. There you go, easy. There you go.
Wow.
Boom. Equal.
I like it.
Chris.
Boom. Let's see.
To me, all right. To me, I think there's a specific role. He said it shouldn't matter, but I think there's a specific role to me in the relationships I've been in. I played. I was the number one breadwinner. I was the provider and protector and stuff like that, right? And I think that's the role a man should play. I was talking to someone the other day, and it was like, well, how do you feel if your girlfriend works or things like that, right? I said, I have no issue with her working, and I don't think she should sit at home and this is your specific job role, watch kids and stuff like that. You can you gotta find that balance, and a man is a man. There is a difference between a man and a woman. And a lot of women are losing that nowadays, and that, I'm pretty sure that'll lead into another question later. But that's a follow-on question. But a man has a specific role to be the man, and whatever that consists of, and a woman should be the woman. All right, that's mine.
Next card, please.
The question is,
Alright, what role should each sex take in a relationship and marriage? When it comes to a role in marriage, I think that's kind of like sports. Know your role. If you're not a good cook and your husband's a good cook, the husband have to be humble enough, like, okay, baby, you can't cook, so I'm a cook. Not be like, I can't marry you, or I can't be with you because you can't cook. Or if a woman is a husband is a better cleaner than a woman. Sometimes you gotta accept the role that you got if you love that person. When you love that person, it doesn't matter if he's weak in this area or she's weak in that area. Just like when it comes to money. Your husband might just be good enough to make money from McDonald's. That's when you gotta be humble and be like, you're not smart enough. And McDonald's check is not working. I love you, but McDonald's check is not working. So when it comes to the role, a role is a big key. A role is knowing your role. So basically how I feel is how I feel when it comes I was speaking. Know your role. So when it comes to knowing your role, you just gotta play that role and know your role. I put myself in a position. My wife, she's smarter than me.
Okay, so the question is, do I think relationships should be 50-50? To me, as a man, when it comes to providing and having my own, I got that. So I'm a strong-minded individual. So I think my wife or girlfriend, they wouldn't be 50-50. I'll be giving the most. and that's just how I am as a man. And should it be 50-50? Probably, I don't, it probably should, but I know I am, so I will always be the one giving the most when it comes to bills and things like that. Like, if I have to pay rent, I'm not gonna ask my wife, "Hey, you gonna come half on the mortgage this month or something?" I'm a man. Certain things, and certain things I think a man should do, right? Certain things I think a man should do, and if they don't, they're less of a man. And that's just how I feel.
Less of a man. You ain't even less of a man. So paying the rent. People be on board status. People be paying rent on that. So you gonna come half on the rent this month,
So
or
if
it's
you
your
don't come
half?
half, do y'all not make it? You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all hear that? You did not make it because you ain't come half.
I'm gonna always be prepared to make it. That's as a man.
Ooh. All right, Jonathan.
When it comes to relationships, I think each person in a relationship should come full force, giving it everything they got. Me, I'm a laid back, go with the flow type of person. So even if it seems like I'm not doing nothing, it's because she already got it. I ain't gotta worry about it. I don't gotta worry about
Take your foot off the pedal.
I don't gotta worry about wondering where my money going. I don't ever see my money because I already know it's going towards the bills. I already know it's going to the rent. I already know it's going to the groceries. So I already know even if I'm not doing nothing, I'm still giving my 100%.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, but giving 100% isn't just financially. It's also mental support, physical support, communication. It's more to that. So it's 100 as a whole, 100% togetherness.
Give Johnson a big round of applause.
I ain't finna pay no more bills around this piece.
Okay. Next question.
All right.
Ain't gonna get paid.
2 or 3, Liz.
Right?
Number 1.
Ooh. Liz got the heartbreaker.
I'm not reading that.
Yes, you already got to read it.
Why do I gotta go in order?
Yeah, you got to.
Read it.
All right. What's the biggest deal breaker? I gotta read the
Yes, you gotta read
the subclause.
Please read subclause.
Finances, communication, sex, or other.
Alright, so am I starting?
Liz got an answer. No, she can start, child.
No, Liz,
You started. You ready?
You ready? Elizabeth?
I don't know, because I don't have a deal breaker.
Oh,
That's good. I like that, Liz.
You don't have a deal breaker?
I don't.
alright.
Okay.
Well,
I'm next.
ready.
I don't really get that. I mean, are we talking about
Relationships
a
and
relationship? 'Cause this ain't
Relationship.
marriage. You don't come in like
With a deal
my
breaker?
Deal breaker. That's crazy. Okay, well, a relationship. I would guess communication then, because if you can't talk and understand each other,
Thank
then
you.
like I think that's just
I'm about to
for
buy
a
some
relationship. Yes, communication.
I'm
If
about
you
to
don't know
buy
how to
TV.
communicate and understand each other.
Right.
Now listen, you don't have to just only do
That's
that
the
from
law.
a woman's perspective. You can just do that from any perspective you want.
So Liz, if your husband was to buy a TV without telling you, $1,000 TV.
My
Deal
husband
breaker.
has a TV without telling me. My husband has purchased. My husband has purchased several things without. My husband purchased a vehicle without letting me know exactly what the vehicle was.
So you.
And I'm
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but well, my wife's not wrong with that.
I mean, you know,
So
I be
explain
acting
to me
like
why
a
you
baby
have to-
flipping out. And like,
As long as you're not broke, right? As long as you're not broke, it's okay, right?
as long as it's what?
As long as you're not broke, the bills paid don't matter, right?
Yeah, he makes sure of that, but I still want to know about these gigantic purchases. Let me tell you, I can go in my garage right now, and I promise you I'll find something that was not there last year.
Wow. Now,
Okay, but that's not a deal deal breaker. That's just how he is.
If you love them, right? Don't matter. We gonna
But you,
be
yeah, you know him, so you know that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flat screen TVs in the room.
Calendra?
Go ahead.
Okay, so there are deal breakers for me.
Boom.
Okay, the deal breaker for me is sex. So I'm gonna roll with that.
Wait a minute.
Sex is a deal breaker.
I don't know if you got it the way you think you got it. I think it should be other, maybe, and not necessarily sex.
No, it says sex. It says finances, communication, sex, or other.
Okay, let me see your answer.
Okay, so
Y'all gotta hear this.
oh, I get what you're about to go with.
Nah.
But it still involves sex. So sex is it still involves sex. What you trying to change my answer?
Yeah, what you talking
It still involves sex. So, right, we were talking about earlier, it says deal breaker. So we were talking about earlier, give it 100%, right?
Right.
Okay. So, sex is a deal breaker for me because I want to be the only one getting it.
That's the decision you don't make.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
So, sex should only come to me exclusively, right? Deal breaker if you give it to somebody else. So,
You mean cheating?
What should
Sex.
that underneath other?
No, so cheating.
yeah, but listen, cheating involves sex, right? So I need to know what
No,
your
that ain't only
limit is. No,
cheating.
I need to know before we get into
Definitely
a relationship. I need to know what your max out is on sex. How many times you need it? 3-4 times a day? Because I want to make sure I hit your quota.
I want to go above you.
And I also need to make sure. Wait a minute, it's not just that. Like, how do you want your sex? It's like
What?
what all is involved in your sex.
Calandra, like a straight out conversation about this though, seriously? Like, let's write this contract. Like, how many?
I think it should be upfront because that's a lot of deal. To me, that's one of the number. That's the number 2 thing.
What if they
on
lie
why people get
and
divorced.
they don't want to scare you off before the marriage and tell you 3 when really they mean 15? What you gonna do?
Ooh, you lied. We talked about lies before. What's your breaker? Lies. Okay. Sex. I mean, because to me, finances, you can always remake money. I mean, you can always get another job, second job. So finances for me is not a deal breaker.
Right.
Communication, I can figure out pretty much who you are if by watching you. Sometimes you get, listen.
If you ain't talking,
I know, but some people not communicate. Some people have an issue with communication.
well, then you
they
have
got
to
to
find
learn
out how
that.
many times they want that then.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Because when he go wandering off to the own room to jack off or something.
Edit that, please.
I won't. I gotta keep it in there. It's the truth. So, I mean, you just need to know, I think your spouse and his behavior, because when men get what they want, or women, they go out and they seem to work a little bit harder. Did y'all know that? Right? When they sexually fulfilled, they'll go get a second job. That's the end of my story. That's how
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay,
answer
right.
because I'm ready.
Where are you? Seriously, a
I'm
second
ready.
job. I need to email that to one of my girlfriends who was at work.
I have some breakfast.
Breakfast be so good next day.
Hey, that why you cook breakfast at 1 night?
Oh, grits, bacon, biscuits, yes. People be sexually satisfied.
But okay. From just looking it up, I did do some research on what's the biggest deal breakers for people in marriages and relationships, and the number 1 was money. Of course.
Because they greedy.
No, it's not because of greedy. Money gives you a sense of security in a world where everybody broke. And so when you feel broke, you'll leave that person that's broke.
Really?
Because they ain't helping you be successful. That is a deal breaker. But that's not my deal breaker. Because I done been broke, so I don't care about that.
Right.
I know how to deal. You know, I can make grits all day. That's good. That's good.
Grits is cheap.
Oh, mental.
Yes, all these things are cheap. So,
Anybody?
a deal breaker, and I'm going to put it underneath other because Clinton said sex.
We have to start her over. Start her over.
For real quick.
My wife is smarter than me, so when it comes to the bills and how to manage that, me as a man, I would let her do that. You know, I wouldn't try to say, I'm gonna take care of the bills. I will let her do that. So when we come to knowing real, you gotta be humble enough and say, okay, I can't do that. You do that. In any relationship, that's my role comes to sex. Not sex, like relation sex, but sex.
Yeah, Jamie.
Okay.
Alright.
So the question was, what role should each sex take in a relationship / marriage? I'm gonna roll with Chris on this answer because I feel like, as a woman, you're right, I'm not a man. So I'd rather be at home with my kids, cooking and cleaning my house, because those are the things that irritate me the most. And those are the things I'd like to work on myself as a woman. So, and I would not mind my husband being the breadwinner, because if he loves me, then the money part, me having what I want, wouldn't really be a problem unless it exceeds our needs. So, I would really prefer to take the wifely role and be at home and doing what my husband likes me to do. That's just me. But I understand that nowadays we have so much more going on, and then it's just you have to have two incomes nowadays. But I also think that people go over what they actually need in their budget. So that's just my opinion.
Okay, what role should? Okay, I think the husband should be the head of the household. I don't mind that at all. I like being a lady. I like being a girl. I kind of like being told what to do just by him. But to be honest,
The cameraman.
yeah.
Get up with your man.
No, but seriously, no, but honestly, I think some women, this is where a lot of, in my opinion, friends of mine get it jacked up. You want a husband, but yet you walking around like you know it all, you got it all. I don't want to do it by myself. I'm not gonna walk around like I got this under control. I don't.
Preach, girl.
I need my husband. I need a man in my house. I need shoulders walking around my living room, making sure I'm protected. I don't mind being a wife. I don't mind him, telling me to. I mean, I like everything he tells me to do. However, I respect a husband's role, and I think a husband should be the head of the house. And as far as God is concerned, he's the protector of his family. We go to church together. He sets the bar in our house, and I think that's what the husband should be. As far as a woman, I've been a stay-at-home mom before, and I've also worked outside of the home, and my husband has allowed me to do whichever is my choice, and he has loved me, he has protected me, nurtured me, and I would hope that I'm treating him like the king that he is. So I think that the husband should be the head of the house, and women, we are the wives, and we're supposed to follow as they follow the Lord.
Can I get a hot tub?
I like it.
Okay. Again, I'm gonna be different.
Here we go.
Because this is the reason why. I was a single mother for 8 years. So I was the head of my own household because their dad wasn't there. So now that I'm married, it's hard for me to just be like, oh, okay, I don't need to do that, I don't need to do that, I don't need to do that. I can just back off, I don't gotta do that. Because my mind is already, hey, let me pay the bills, let me get the kids ready, let me check homework, let me do food, let me make sure everything's done. And by 9 o'clock, I don't even ask him what he needs because I'm tired. I'm sleepy.
So you're trying to transition.
It's a transition for me.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of women out there that's doing a transition, and it's hard because we're like, so you got this check, okay, so you already picked it up? You don't even want to ask the questions because it's like you're demeaning that person because you really want to know what's going on. You really want to be all up in it because you're used to doing it by yourself.
Right.
So
I understand.
it's hard to transition, and it really does work out when you have really good communication. And it's always good if you can do it like that. So that's my answer.
Can I say something? And for those of you, they've already established they've been married 11 years. I've been married 10 years.
To the cameraman.
To the cameraman.
Cameraman, we gotta go. Oh, cameraman.
And Kinasia Johnson has been married for
2.
So
And some change.
I think it'll take time for you to do that.
Yeah.
When I met my husband, I was a single mother of 2, and he kind of like showed me in a way versus kind of telling me it's okay to relinquish. Yeah. He kind of like showed me in different ways, like, I'm not just here for you. I'm here for them too, you know. And it took a minute, and then once I did, he never, how can I say it? He never took that role back, like, I'm the stepfather. It's like, not to take away from their biological father, but I'm their father too. You know, and I had to learn how to just
Back up.
And I got something to add to what Liz was saying. It's also how you were raised a little bit. You know, I think that, you know, if you come from a family where all the women had to be strong. All themselves, by themselves. You know, like my husband, I was a strong-head woman, and I ain't have no life before him. I was just strong-head anyway. I just wanted to tell him how I felt. This the way we gonna run this house. Cause I'm in this house, so we running it my way. You know what I'm saying? And then he had to tell me, he had to finally, there was a point where he was like going to church. I'm telling you, God had a lot to do with it because today's men nowadays are not taught to be that strong anymore. Wow. So it's like, once he learned, wait a minute, I can say something. Yeah. Then he's like, a lot. Yeah, he's like, oh, that's why. No, but then I had to. When a man knows the word, and you know the word, and he convicts you with that word, what you gonna say? Because my husband used the word on me, and I said,
don't let me hang.
Oh, sorry. I said, I had to be like, well, okay, you know, you can put your chest back in, or, you know, you just have to, I think that's the point. There's a point where your man, once he steps up to that plate too, for a woman, for especially strong-headed women. Yeah. Once your man is secure in himself and he knows he's a man, and he knows I'm gonna provide you. I got this, and when he tells you he got this, and he proves he got this, then you need to fall back. I mean, I just think a lot of women are on an ego trip nowadays. Yeah. We just like, I got it. Well, I'm sitting on what he want anyway. You know,
I will. If you don't,
or I'm sitting on a pot of gold. You know, women be like, I'm sitting on this. So I know he want this, and y'all know what I'm talking about sex. Yeah. So he's like, I'm sitting on this, I'm gonna use this, and then they start using their vaginas as a bribe in the marriage.
That's stupid.
So I'm just saying, that's how I feel about it. Like, oh, he ain't getting none tonight. What?
Like, what do you
change that?
Right, you're not accomplishing anything. If anything, you're damaging your marriage more because if you know the word, you know that you're not supposed to use that against your mate anyway.
Wait a minute.
So, and y'all have anything to add to that last
Anybody
question before I go on to the next?
Y'all did a beautiful job.
Beautiful job.
Next question.
Okay.
Next question is pretty easy.
Shouts out to the single women out there. It's taking
Single money!
Listen to what they say. No,
Y'all keep doing it though.
It's 100% hard. That's a whole nother show. I got you.
Yeah. So this question kind of bites off the first one a little bit. It says, do you think relationships should be 50-50?
100.
So go ahead, Liz. I mean, 100 got answered, right?
No, I answered it. Liz,
100. Give it all. Both of you. Give it all you have.
Okay, and I'm gonna say 100 as a total. Everybody together. Both.
So you think they should bring
everybody bringing everything to one and mixing it all together in the plate. It's a salad.
Nice salad.
Everything.
I'm gonna say it should be a total of 100 as well, but I think that communication is that foundation that equals the other math. So, I mean, I'm just saying, if y'all agree that it should be 50-50, then it should be 50-50. If y'all agree it should be 75-25, somebody ain't gonna be happy, but that's y'all agreement. That's y'all agreement.
Maybe 60-60, because I need 110%.
120, that's even math. The math is not even, that ain't gonna be doing math.
Don't edit it.
Don't edit it. Don't edit it. Go ahead. 55-55. Count me on that.
So when you say do you think a relationship should be 50-50? What if a person is not able? What if he's handicapped? What if he can't provide?
You can provide something else, you know.
Then you show
So when you getting
show
tired,
it.
what if you working and taking care of him and taking care of the kids?
What he can still provide, you know, a person can provide a sense of security without doing anything.
That's very true.
Explain that.
Okay, I'm handicapped. I don't got nothing. I can't do nothing.
Waist down, you broke.
You can be broke waist down, but your hands work, right?
Okay. I was just wondering.
Your hands work.
I agree.
And even if you're a paraplegic, other things still work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where you
I don't know.
Hey,
Crazy girl. No, I did. Let me clear that up. Please. I'm gonna clean it up. Every single time.
Okay, so the question is, do I think relationships should be 50-50? To me, as a man, when it comes to providing and having my own, I got that. So I'm a strong-minded individual. So I think my wife or girlfriend, they wouldn't have to, it wouldn't be 50-50. I'll be giving the most. And that's just how I am as a man. And, should it be 50-50? Probably, I don't, it probably should, but I know I am. So I will always be the one giving the most when it comes to bills and things like that. Like if I have to pay rent, I'm not gonna ask my wife, "Hey, you gonna come half on the mortgage this month?" Or something. That's just, I'm a man. Certain things, and it just certain things I think a man should do. Right, certain things I think a man should do, and if they don't, they're less of a man, and that's just how I feel.
Less of a man. You ain't even less of a man. So paying the rent. People be on boy status. People be paying rent on that. So you gonna come half on the rent this month,
So
or
if you don't come half, do y'all not make it? You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all hear that? You not make it because you ain't come half.
I'm gonna always be prepared to make it. That's as a man.
Right. Anyway. All right,
When it comes to relationships, I think each person in a relationship should come full force, giving it everything they got. Me, I'm a laid back, go with the flow type of person. But even if it seems like I'm not doing nothing, it's because she already got it. I ain't gotta worry about it. I don't gotta worry about
Take your foot off the pedal.
I don't gotta worry about wondering where my money going. I don't ever see my money because I already know it's going towards the bills. I already know it's going to the rent. I already know it's going to the groceries. So I already know even if I'm not doing nothing, I'm still giving my 100%.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, but giving 100% isn't just financially. It's also mental support, physical support, communication. It's more to that. So it's 100 as a whole, 100% togetherness.
Give Johnson a big round of applause.
I ain't finna pay no more bills around this piece.
Okay. Next question.
All right.
Ain't gonna get paid.
2 or 3, Liz.
Right?
Number one.
Ooh. Liz got the heartbreaker.
I'm not reading that.
Yes, you are. You got to read it.
Why do I gotta go in order?
Yeah, you got to.
Read it.
All right. What's the biggest deal breaker? I gotta read the
Yes, you gotta read
the subclause.
You gotta read. Please read subclause.
Finances, communication, sex, or other.
Alright, so am I starting?
Liz got an answer. No, she can start,
No,
child.
Liz, you got
Yes, you started. You ready?
You ready? Elizabeth?
I don't know, because I don't have a deal breaker.
Oh,
That's good. I like that, Liz.
You don't have a deal breaker?
I don't.
Alright. Okay.
well,
I'm next.
I'm next.
We're ready.
I don't really get that. I mean, are we talking about
Relationships
a
and
relationship? 'Cause this ain't marriage. You don't come in like
With a deal
my
breaker?
deal breaker. That's crazy. Okay, well, a relationship. I would guess communication then, because if you can't talk and understand each other,
Thank
then
you.
like I think that's just
I'm
for a relationship. Yes. communication. If you don't know how to communicate and understand each other.
Right.
Now listen, you don't have to just only do that from a woman's perspective. You can just do that from any perspective you want.
So Liz, if your husband was to buy a TV without telling you, $1,000 TV.
My
Deal
husband
breaker.
has bought a TV without telling me. My husband has purchased. My husband has purchased several things without. My husband purchased a vehicle without letting me know exactly what the vehicle was.
So you.
And
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but like, well, my wife's not wrong with that.
I mean, you know,
So
I be acting
explain
like
to
a
me
baby,
why
I be
you got the-
flipping out. and like,
Long as you're not broke, right? Long as you're not broke, it's okay, right?
As long as it's what?
Long as you're not broke, the bills paid don't matter, right?
Yeah, he makes sure of that, but I still want to know about these gigantic purchases. Let me tell you, I can go in my garage right now, and I promise you I'll find something that was not there last year.
Wow. Now,
Okay, but that's not a deal breaker. That's just how he is.
If you
He
love
just-
them, right?
I
Don't
love-
matter. We gonna
But
be
you,
all right.
yeah, you know him, so you know that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flat screen TVs in the room.
Kalindra?
Go ahead.
okay, so there are deal breakers for me.
Boom.
Okay, the deal breaker for me is sex. So I'm gonna roll with that.
Wait a minute.
Sex is a deal breaker.
I don't know if you got it the way you think you got it. I think it should be other, maybe, and not necessarily sex.
No, it says sex. It says finances, communication, sex, or other.
Okay, let me see your answer.
Okay, so
Y'all gotta hear this.
oh, I get what you're about to go with.
Ma.
But it still involves sex. So sex it still involves sex. What you trying to change my answer?
Yeah, what you talking
It still involves sex. So, right, we were talking about earlier, it says deal breaker. So we were talking about earlier, give it 100%, right?
Right.
Okay. So, sex is a deal breaker for me because I want to be the only one getting it.
That's the sense you don't make.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
So, sex should only come to me exclusively, right? Deal breaker if you give it to somebody else. So,
You mean cheating?
What should
Sex.
that underneath other?
No, so cheating.
yeah, but listen, cheating involves sex, right? So I need to know what
No,
your
that's
limit
only
is. No,
cheating.
I need to know before we get
Definitely
into
not.
a relationship. I need to know what your max out is on sex. How many times you need it? 3-4 times a day? Because I want to make sure I hit your quota.
I want to go above and
And I also need to make sure. Wait a minute, it's not just that. Like, how do you want your sex? It's like what all is involved in your sex.
Calandra, like a straight out conversation about this though? Seriously? Like, let's write this contract. Like, how many?
I think it should be upfront because that's a lot of deal. That's to me that's one of the that's the number 2 thing.
What if they lie and they don't want to scare you off before the marriage and tell you 3 when really they mean 15? What you gonna do?
Ooh, you lied. We talked about lies before. What's deal breaker? Lies. Okay. Sex. I mean, because to me, finances you can always remake money. I mean, you can always get another job, second job. So finances for me is not a deal breaker.
Right.
Communication, I can figure out pretty much who you are if by watching you. Sometimes you get listen. If you ain't talking, I know, but some people not communicate. Some people have an issue with communication.
Well, then you
they
got
got to
to find
learn
out how
that.
many times they want that then.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Because when he go one in off to the room to jack off or something.
Edit that. Please edit.
I won't. I gotta keep it in there. It's the truth. So, I mean, you just need to know, I think your spouse and his behavior, because when men get what they want, or women, they go out and they seem to work a little bit harder. Did y'all know that? Right? When they sexually fulfilled, they'll go get a second job. That's the end of my story. That's how
Okay, I'm
I
gonna go ahead and answer
right.
because I'm ready.
Where are you? Seriously,
I'm
second
ready.
job. I need to email that to one of my girlfriends who they work.
I have some breakfast.
Breakfast be so good next day.
Hey, that why you cook breakfast at 1 now?
Oh, grits, bacon, biscuits, yes. Keep me sexually satisfied.
But okay. From just looking it up, I did do some research on what's the biggest deal breakers for people in marriages and relationships, and the number 1 was money. Of course.
Because they greedy.
No, it's not because of greedy. Money gives you a sense of security in a world where everybody broke. And so when you feel broke, you'll leave that person that's broke.
Really?
Because they ain't helping you be successful. That is a deal breaker. But that's not my deal breaker. Cause I done been broke, so I don't care about that.
Right.
I know how to deal. You know, I can make grits all day. That's
is
good.
good.
That's good.
Grits is cheap.
Oh, mental.
Yes, all these things.
I got a question.
The question was, you know, the biggest deal breaker. So, mine is gonna go any further, and mine will always be cheating. If you cheat on me, I am gone. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I cannot sit up and every day think about you wanting to be with somebody else. It makes me go crazy, and I will drive you crazy with it. It is just inevitable. I'm gonna do it. So I just don't do my face. I just don't do that other. That's my deal breaker. That's my deal breaker. We can figure out talking. I can figure out how to talk to you. I mean, I can move your mouth if I have to. That's fine. We can figure out sex. I can figure out how to do flips around the, off the walls and land. And I can figure it out. I don't know what kind of flips I can do.
Right.
And money, we can figure out how to make 3 and 4 jobs work, right? My man got 3 jobs. So we can figure it out, but the cheating, I can't.
Can't figure that out.
I cannot figure it out. I can't.
Alright.
My biggest deal breaker, really had nothing to do with finances, because like I said, when I first moved out, I was broke. Sex is not an issue really. It's not an issue because when you get older, you're not gonna have sex. You're gonna just be happy just to let that person. Communication.
I
Communication.
don't get no sex, not deal breaker. Bye. I'm just kidding.
So jail.
We'll talk about role next subject. But no, communication is a big thing, because if you can't communicate with that person, like sometimes you might be just chilling with your wife. Oh, I forgot. People's coming over today. I thought we were just chilling. Communication is a big thing with me. You can't communicate. That's like a big issue, because I'm a terrible communicator and I just got better at that. But when it happens to you, it's not a good idea. So communication is a big deal breaker for me.
When? Chris.
Okay. To me, when it says other,
Any other thing.
any other thing, finances, I can work. When I dated my girlfriend, I was in the military. I was making more than her. She was working this little job, and but she eventually joined and she started matching my paycheck. So it was really, that's good. Communication. When we started dating, she really, what?
I was into two, man.
Oh, okay.
Stay
So
focused.
communication, we worked through that. She was real quiet, didn't really say much. Then she eventually she started communicating. We got to that. My deal breaker is when we talked about roles of a woman just is stuck in her way and would not compromise when it comes to her role. It's like, hey, they just will not do it. And I think knowing and having the intellect and knowing your role all this other stuff will come. It'll fall in place. You see what I'm saying? It'll fall. It leaves grounds to move on or build on. But if you don't know that your role and stuff like that, then all the other stuff wouldn't even matter. So that's my biggest one.
Okay. John Tusby. John Touch to skin. To me.
Deal breaker. I don't know. I mean, I've for being someone who's only been married 2 years, even before that, I've dealt with a lot. I mean, finances. I could really care less. I know it's a big thing in this world, but money comes and goes.
Just like Polo and Jordan.
So money comes and goes. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. You don't got it. Go get it. That's how I feel. Sex. I've been deployed. I mean, sex. I I mean, I've gone over a year. I said I've been deployed before, so coming, not getting it. It's, I don't really care. I mean, eventually it's gonna get annoying. I mean, somebody gonna have to put out at some point. So. Me personally, my spirit, the type of person I am, my deal breaker is overall happiness. I'm not gonna
That's good.
overall happiness. I'm not going to keep you here with me. If I feel as if I'm miserable, I'm not gonna bring you down miserably with me.
Wow.
If I feel as if if I can make you happy by not being with me, then the type of person I am a people pleaser. I will let you go and be happy.
Woo! I said that a couple times.
Hey, can we just take
That's a wow. I just need to process that.
Yeah, me
that was
too.
like.
Yeah, sip your water. Yeah, you could.
let me ask you guys just something off of what Jonathan's saying, because I just want to know, like, you said you're a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
So your goal is to ensure happiness in your wife. I mean, we know it's your wife, but I'm just saying, you as a man. Do you all men take that as something that's like a goal for you to make sure that your wife or girlfriend or woman is happy? Is that?
I'm gonna say something. I had a wise man told me one time, but he never explained it to me. If your wife happy, life happy. That's was the word, but I never really. It's a lot more behind that. When we get to that later, but yeah, my wife not happy. I ain't happy. And she ain't gonna be happy. I'm like, why the heck you ain't happy? What am I doing? What am I not doing? So yeah, I need her to be happy. It's my queen.
Wow.
It's my queen.
Okay.
You have to be, but that has to be realistic too. A lot of wives want a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
My husband didn't go buy me a brand new $250,000 house.
Why?
I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? That's just
Cynical.
That's just, you know what I'm saying?
Feeling some type of way.
You gotta know where you're at, and where you're trying to go.
I would have been happy.
So, but ultimately, that is the goal. Ultimately, that is the goal.
That's the goal.
If your girlfriend, wife, whatever is happy, then you're good. We should be happy, and that should be the ultimate goal.
What about the woman?
That's amazing.
Does a woman feel that she want her man to be? You feel the same way, other way around?
For me?
Women are selfish.
That's how I feel.
I know y'all don't.
I'm gonna agree with Chris.
Wait. I'm not answering. I have something to say about that. Now, the question is, I'm gonna answer this question.
No.
Go.
For a fact, I know for me that even if I feel like my husband's not happy, I will question him till he becomes happy. Let me do this. I have to make sure my husband's happy. I'm not comfortable if he's unhappy. So, do y'all know what I mean? Like, if he's walking around and if I even see his face drop even a little, I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What I do? What's wrong? Is there something I can do? What's wrong? I'm like that. I can't. Who wants to live with somebody that ain't happy?
Ooh.
Like, you, what? That person might kill you.
You don't sleep.
Right now. You think they're not happy? Yeah, they're not happy. You want to know, are we good before I close my eyes? Are we straight?
Liz?
You shouldn't go to sleep upset anyway.
Elizabeth?
Yeah. I think making sure your husband is happy is and should be a priority. Also, you should know what makes your spouse unhappy. And if you know what makes your spouse unhappy, avoid it.
Don't do it.
Okay? No, seriously, avoid it. And then, just try different things. Like, they could be unhappy for reasons that have nothing to do with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
It could be work. It could be the stress of life. Men walking around, the ones that are the head of their homes, they have a lot of weight to carry, especially if children are involved.
Communication. We've only, me and my husband only been married for 2 years, so trying to figure out each other's happiness,
That's some change.
we're still doing that, and some change.
Right.
Change. So, still trying to figure out each other's likes and dislikes. We're still doing that because we got married quick, very quick. So, trying to figure out, oh, he don't like it when I got a smart mouth. Oh, got it. Oh, he don't like it when I make sure that everything is in order. Oh, okay, got it. So we're still trying to figure all of that out. So it just depends on how long you've been in your relationship and what you're still trying to figure out. Now,
I feel
in
a
your,
question.
I got a question.
Go
So in your relationship, what type of person, relationship, marriage, what type of person are you? Now, I think we already hit on that, but in specific for you, what type of person are you? Like, I feel like my husband is the chill. You got it, baby, don't worry. He already said it. And I'm more like, let's go, I gotta get everything done today.
Right.
I don't care if it's due next year, I gotta get it done right now. That's how I am.
Okay. Who next?
No, David, go ahead and answer.
So you try to figure out what type of person that I am.
In your marriage.
In my marriage, I think that, to be honest, I really don't know what I am. I just know that I'm a person, I want to get the job done. Go to work. I don't know, I think I'm the person that, I'm a husband, I'm a father, that's what I am. Now if I walk around here sad or happy to my emotions or something, what am I?
Just like what?
I'm confused a little bit.
Who are you in your marriage?
I'm the people
Are
person.
you're the people
I'm the
person?
people person.
Definitely.
Okay. Who are you in your relationship?
I am me. I'm just
I am he, I am all.
I think
Hey, what?
I'm actually not in a relationship. I think I will be, or in marriage. I think I'll be the more of, I am a people's person. If everybody, if like y'all we were talking about happiness, if you're happy, then I'm good, and I'm happy, right? And I don't know. I'm real analytical, very analytical. So dating to me, I don't mind dating, right? I wanna hash out issues early, and I get to a point where that person too many issues, too many red flags. I'm not for to marry that person, and I really do not mind dating. You know, so when I do get married, it's gonna be a one-time thing for me, and I'm not for to deal with divorce and children all over the place and stuff like that. It's just not gonna happen. So I have that power. People don't understand the power of dating. You can. They say, well, you live together and shack and all. You don't have to live with a person to find out their habits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I used to go to my girlfriend's house, and I could tell if she was a dirty person, and I'm in her room. I'm just there visiting.
Right.
You know, consistency is what rules. You know, if a person is away, and if that's how they are, they'll be consistently that way.
Right.
You know, so I don't have to do all that to. You don't have to live together and shack and all that other stuff. You know, there's a way you can clean and date and figure out a person.
Right.
So that I'm real analytical when it comes to
Check it out. Check it all out.
yes. I check it all out.
Check it out.
Jonathan, who are you?
I agree, yeah.
What now?
I'm the chill, but also the deep thinker. I like to sit and try to paint the big. I like to sometimes paint the big picture. Like, okay, she wants this, but and overall, what's the outcome of it gonna be? Like, in the end, how is this gonna benefit where we're at right now? Like, she wants to do this, she may want to do that. Okay, how is this moving us? How is this moving us up, getting us away from where we're at right now? Not saying where we're at is in the bad spot, but just how is what we're doing going to better us? That's the kind of person I am.
Wow.
And it takes a long.
Okay. To me, in the relationship, I am
She just
I'm
like
a
that.
I'm a pamper. I think I pamper a lot. I like to be more of a nurse in the house. That's what I am, and I'm also very I'm not gonna say I'm analytical, but I'm also like an investigator.
That's
Probably
good.
not.
So I'm like, well, why that happened? Well, what was it? Because to me, I like to get to the root of any problem. I want to know what triggered this. Why is always my question.
Wow.
But I'm also the nursing person. So if somebody's hurt, I need to know why so I can mend or fix whatever happened, you know, or try to
Oh, Olivia.
heal it. You know, I'm a healer, nurse, investigator.
Wow. Investigator.
Investigator. I be healing folks. People may have their toenails messed up. Alright.
Walking hard in the hallway. Really?
Is that it for that question? Or let's go.
Well, Liz gotta go, and then I'm gonna go.
Go.
You already went. Liz, no, you gotta answer. Who are you?
We ain't got a lot of time. I'm the bubbly one.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like I let my emotions show in my marriage. When I'm mad, I'ma show mad. When I'm super happy, I'ma show super happy. When I'm super excited, I'ma show it. When I'm just bubbly, head over heels in love, I'ma just say it all day, every day, and text it, and just write it on papers. That's just no, seriously, that's just how I am. So I'm just the person that lets it yeah.
See, that's
all hang out
That's
in my relationship, and it can be good at times and it can be bad at times, because I guess sometimes you don't always have to let all your feelings show, but I do. If I feel like crying, you're gonna see tears.
Oh Lord.
If I feel just like I just let it all hang out in my marriage. So that's me.
Thank you. I wish you went first. That's me right there, all the time. Chris,
For real?
Here, you guys ready? Here's the last question.
Okay.
woo!
Are women not as submissive as they were?
It's not that heavy.
Word.
A little bit.
Keyword.
Maybe.
Like, when you got married.
Are women submissive?
First of all, define submissive.
Yeah, let's define submissive, because I don't, I've never liked that word. So because I don't. Well, if we're gonna look it up, we're gonna define the word real quick, because I can't with that word. Like, that just, to me, submissive just means control, and I just don't like to be controlled. I can't do it.
Submissive.
Really?
Yeah,
Submissive.
really
There you go,
mean.
submissive.
Submissive, ready to conform. See? You know what? Be ye not. Okay?
Girl, you get an A+ for that.
No, you get an F. I mean, yeah, but she gets an A because that was like
So quick on her feet. That was perfect.
ready to conform to the authority or will of others, meekly obedient or passive. And I think the problem with me is that I'm not passive. So it's just kind of like trying to be a person that I'm not. I don't know about, no, that's not true. Because if my husband really means something, if he really means it, he like, this what we gonna do. Oh, alright, cool. I got it. But other than that, if he don't really mean it, if he just nonchalant about it, then I'm like, well, we gonna do all this. I'm not submissive. He has to be, my husband has to be really into it, and then I submit, so.
My wife. Yes, women should be submissive to their husband, because if you're submissive to your husband, life will be a lot better, because if you're submissive to your husband, he will be more submissive to you. He will give you what you want. He will be like, my wife just done. Like, my wife cooked Thanksgiving. I wanted to buy her another house. So you more submissive. Yes, a whole other house.
Because she cooked?
If you're, no, she threw down. If you're more submissive, if you're submissive,
Wow.
yes, that's my question. That's my answer.
Chris.
Okay, I would say.
Ask me about Thanksgiving.
No?
Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, Chris.
Okay. Nowadays, no, I would say they're not. And women don't understand. Women don't work what they have, and what they have is men have authority, women have influence. Women are powerful if they work their influence. They can get the authoritative man to do whatever. It's biblical. Samson Delilah influenced him. When the serpent deceived Eve, she influenced Adam to do the exact same. They work their influence. Women have real powerful influence. Men have authority. Women have influence. That's just how it is, and women don't. A lot of women nowadays don't understand that, and it leads them to a whole lot of issues down the road. So.
Okay.
John?
Or woman submissive.
That's good right there.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I'm about to say hell no. At least speak for my wife. No. Jail. She is not submissive. It's like if she don't get what she want, don't nobody in the house get what they want at all. It's like it'll take a grace from God for her to say, okay, I won't. Look at my face. Is that serious? No, women are not submissive. Calendra.
It is what it is.
Well, I'm gonna nowadays women are not submissive, and I'm gonna roll with Chris again on this answer, because they don't know the definition of it, and they don't know the power that they have, and then some women just won't let a man get a word in edgewise. It's like, well, my opinion is what matters. This is all that matters, and I just feel like, sometimes I think, this is just my opinion, a lot of women need to shut up, because if you shut up, sometimes a man can make a decision at first, and then he'll think about it. And then if he asks you about it, you just give your opinion, he'll think about it again, and it might change his mind that way. We don't always, I think we make our jobs harder for ourselves than what they really are, because we just keep going on and on and on about the stuff that doesn't even matter most of the time, and just be like, okay, he want to buy that new car. We're gonna go with the new car, for example, and it's just not a good move, right? And you be like, well, babe, this is how I see the math being done, and he'd be like, okay, well, I still want to buy the new car. Let him buy the new car. When you get repo, hey, head of household, I ain't do it. Sometimes you just gotta shut up. I just think you need to pull back for a little bit. It might not be what you want at the time, but if y'all know the power of God, God is not gonna let everything fall because you was a good wife. So that's my answer.
I think most women probably aren't as submissive. It's funny because when my husband says something or he wants to do something a certain way, I cannot agree and go kicking and screaming. But 9 times out of 10, he's proven to be right. So I think in learning that, and I know that I'm still, growing just as a person, and I feel like women, if you feel a certain point that your husband or a spouse or boyfriend isn't right in the area and you find out that they are, tell them that they're right. It's okay to be wrong, and I kind of like being proven wrong, so I think being submissive is a good thing because you'll get rewarded, and as long as your husband is going in the right direction, it's okay to follow. It's kind of cool. So
we want to say thank you to all of our guys that came here.
Yes. So we thank you so much.
North Carolina.
So we definitely encourage you to watch the show. Give us your comments on this show today.
Yeah, tell us what you think about women, men, marriage, relationships, and piggyback on what we were talking
And email us at Diamonds and Pearl.
No, not diamonds.
Diamond and Pearl 2013 at yahoo.com. Thank you.
Also, Mondays at 8 p.m. Central Time.